our shiur is le'atzlachat lezivug. I just want to tell you guys, and I say this a lot on my shiurim, and I met a couple of people who've asked me questions, and right away I tell them this, and I'm like, yeah, we know, we've heard you say this. And actually, yesterday this happened to me, and I say, guys, I'm not a baba. Okay, there's only one baba. It's called the Sidna Baba Sali. Okay, and I don't know how that works. I have many things to fix myself. You know, we come from Olam Birya, Yitzira V'Asiya. Very few come from Olam Ha'atzilut. You know, so I can't really. We're just nitzatzot. But even there's some nitzatzot that like to help other nitzatzot, right? Am I right or wrong?
Of course.
That's it. So we opened up a sigulot chat for single people, and the reason I opened up this chat, I just want to make this clear. I have a friend, I have a couple of friends that very close to me that aren't married yet, and I said maybe if we help out other people, like, you know, give them a sigula, give them something to do, maybe make a zechut for them, and this zechut is gonna boomerang to these people that are good friends of mine, that they should get married. And you asked the people in the chat to send me their names, and I want to say that our shiur tonight for the Baba Sali Kadosh, and he was such a Kadosh, Rabotai. They say about the Ben Ish Chai Kadosh, the Ben Ish Chai that it's not Arak, is it?
You want?
No. Good. So sometimes he might trick me. I don't know. So they say about the Ben Ish Chai, the Rabbi Yehuda Ftaye, who was one of the greats. Rabbi Yehuda Ftaye said in his Hagdama, in the introduction to the Ben Ish Chai's book, that Hashem had mercy on the later generations, and he kept the Ben Ish Chai's neshama in store. How you say?
Reserve.
In stock, reserve, so he could let it out, you know, in the end of times, you know. So it's pashut. It's pashut that you could say the same thing about the Baba Sali Kadosh. It's pashut lechol man deba'eh. So I want to say that Rav Israel Abuchatzira, Baba Sali, and I'm sure 100%. I don't even have a doubt. I'm willing to say a bet would be wrong, because I'm willing to. It's true. That Baba Sali, a spark of his neshama is here right now. Because to find at the, as they say in Yiddish, Sof ha'olam smola, you know, at the end of the world to the left, to find a group of Bukharian Jews making a hilula for the Baba Sali HaKadosh. And I've seen hilulot before, Rabotai, with basar and yain, and we have arak and we have whiskey. And I'm telling you a story of the Baba Sali with all these three stuff, and all these kinds of stuff. And I'm sure that the Baba Hashem says in Shamayim right now, has Baba Sali with all the hilulot they do for him in Morocco, in Eretz Israel, in Nitivot. He has to take a look at across the street, Al Mahmoud. You know, we have over here a couple of buchis that are coming together from Tashkent, from Shar Sabzi, from Navai, from Samarkand, from Dushanbe, from I don't know, Azerbaijan. All these Bukharians coming together. I don't know. It's a place. It's a place. They're all coming together, and they're making a hilula, and we want to connect to the tzaddik, and we wish there was somebody this day like the Baba Sali HaKadosh that we could connect to, that we could. But you know, that's why Hashem took everything away from us. So when Mashiach comes, we'll really appreciate him. That's what I think. But I could be wrong. Who knows? So I want to pray that B'zchut Baba Sali, who is here right now, that He should bless these people for zivugim, and these are religious people. These are religious people, Rabotai. People are Shomrei Torah b'mitzvot. And I want to bless them. And for some reason they have an ikuv. I don't know what's the ikuv. Who knows? But for some reason they have an ikuv. And may Hashem bless the ikuv, the roadblock, the stumbling block should dissipate. Should just disappear.
Break it.
But I want to tell everybody here who's single, and everybody who's listening who is single, I'm telling you guys this, and I'm telling you guys this bivadaut, 100%. It's a Gemara. I've said this before. They asked Rabbi Yeshua ben Hananiah Chachmei Atuna. They said, what should a person do and be successful in life? He took a peg out of the wall. It was over here, the peg. He took it out, and he put it down here. Basically, he said, lower your standards. So Hashem will send you it will send you a chance. But you know, you're not such a hot shot. Okay, lower your standards a bit. You understand? Lower your standards. Because you're not such a hot shot. He will send you a chance. He will. Every chance that you get, Hashem sends it to you. Just remember that when you have the chance. Remember it, okay? So I want to pray for all the people who send me the names for the zivugim, the Shvat Baba Sali HaKadosh. May Hashem put it in their maineh. You know what the maineh means? In the moach, that when they get the chance, they'll get it. I'm sure they'll get it. When they'll get the chance, They won't make, but she looks like this, and she does like that, and she goes like this, and she goes like that, and she's awkward, and she's this, and she's that. The woman that says yes, barra, you know, yes, because you have to get married, Rabotai. That's your olam haba. It's hinging on this, okay? So I want to say, and whoever is live right now, they could also send their names, of course, and we could also mention their names in the Ptichat HaEchal that we'll be doing. So, Lezivugim Hagunim, B'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach, may Hashem bless Avraham ben Adina, Yonatan ben Margarita, Asher ben Margarita, Aryeh David ben Rezel Brendel, Moshe ben Abigail, Baruch Chai ben Yudit Irina, Daniel ben Leah, Aaron Moshe ben Yafa, Rachman ben Dina, Levi ben Lydia, David ben Sveta Tzivia, Gabriel ben Sveta Tzivia, Yeshua ben Miriam, Yosef Meir ben Rif, Gabriel Chai ben Leah, Baruch ben Yosef, Yitzchak ben Yosef, Milana bat Nela, Ronen ben Emmanuel, Avraham ben Natalie, Baruch ben Tzivia, Daniel ben Tamar, David ben Michal, Rafael ben Yeshua, Baruch ben Tonya, Moshe Chaim ben Rosa, Eliezer ben Olga, David ben Tonya, Aaron ben David, Malkiel ben Shemuel, Avraham ben Bracha, Roma ben Sonia, Edward ben Shura, Boris Baruch Bechor ben Zina, Shmuel ben Dor, Yitzchak ben Tzipora, וגם אריאל בן מרים, וגם ישראל בן סוזנה, וגם אליעזר בן יהודה, וכל הרווקים הקדושים. וגם מאיה מזל בת, רבקה, וגם יעקב בן יצחק, מהשם bless all the, וגם איציק בן רחל, רושה בן רחל, מהשם bless all these people,
אדם בן
משה חיים
גבריאל.
בן אלה, ואדם בן גבריאל, למה לא? גם צריכים להתחיל רחל בת בחוריה. מהשם bless all these רווקים, גם יהושע בן יפה, מהשם bless all these, I said אליעזר בן עומר. מהשם bless all these people, וגם אברהם בן Mira. May Hashem bless all these tzaddikim. I want to say Hashem bless all tzaddikim, and Rabotai, say Amen like you're in a Rav Hamnun Yitzchak lecture.
Amen.
Right, not yet. Let me say the bracha first. Relax. May Hashem bless all you guys. May bless Hashem all these tzaddikim that I mentioned. May they get married this year. Amen. Yakimu bait ne'eman b'Yisrael. Amen. בזכות הסידנה בבא סאלי הקדוש, בזכות כל הצדיקים והטהורים, בזכות אבותינו הקדושים, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, משה ואהרון, יוסף והצדיקים מלך עליהם שלום, שהשם יברך אותם שכל העיכובים וכל המכשולים יסירו מעליהם, וכל הכשפים וכל עין הרע וכל הדברים רעים יסירו מעליהם. והאישה הראשונה, the first girl, they're going to tell them about these guys, and she's going to like them. May Hashem put it in their heads to like her too. May all the shtuyot leave their heads and they should get married. May we have a lot of weddings this year. Amen. Thank you. We have a double Adar this year. So we have 13 months. We have an extra month. So may Hashem bless all these people. They should get married this year. Amen. Let's start the shiur in the Sidna Baba Sali HaKadosh. Rav Israel of Hazira. Okay. Baba Sali HaKadosh, Rabbi Yisrael Abu Chatzira, to give you guys a small introduction, their last name is not really Abu Chatzira. Legend says that their last name is really Elbaz. Yeah, it's really Elbaz. Abu Chatzira is an Arabic word for the master of the rug. Abu. Yeah. Abu is the father, the master. Hatzir. What's a hatzir? A rug. Abu Hatzira. The Baba Sali great grandfather, his name was Shmuel. He was actually not a Moroccan Jew. He was a Israeli lekol davar. He was a Yerushalmi, a Jerusalemite Jew. Baba Sali's great grandfather. And legend, I say legend because anytime you have two versions of the same story, it's a legend. Legend says that Rabbi Shmuel was a tzaddik that was mikushar, connected to the sphera, the bottled up energy, the sphere, the levush of Hashem called Keter Elyon. Anybody who's connected to the sphere of Keter, they're amazingly simple people. They just want to be simple. And because of that, his job was, what could be the simplest job in Judaism?
Shoeman. Cleaner.
A cleaner. He's a cleaner. He's to clean the streets, clean the shuls. Just like Joshua, the student of Moshe. And one day, legend says that the people in Eretz Israel, they needed to appoint a volunteer to collect money outside of Israel, because the Israeli communities, just like today, you have people coming from Israel asking for tzedakah, came for the piske, they come to shuls before Passover, because Sukkot. Just like that, they needed back then. And nobody wanted to go, because back then you wouldn't just hop up on an airplane and say Zdravstvuyte, ya prishol. Back then, you had to go on a boat. And God forbid, sometimes the boats would not make it to shore. Would not. There were pirates, they didn't have technology. It was really sakanat nefashot. So what they would do, they would cast a lot. A lottery. But trust me, this lottery, you did not want to be picked. And lo and behold, who does the lottery fall on? Melo Shmuel Elbaz. And everybody's saying, Vo Balaam. Why? Out of all people to pick, you pick the guy that he cleans the streets. I mean, at least pick a charismatic person, somebody who could raise money, a good speaker. You pick a guy who's just a cleaner.
Simpleton.
Yeah. But you know what the rabbi said? If Hashem picked him, the lottery fell. Nigmara inyan. He's gotta go. And there was a ship setting out to Istanbul in the Mediterranean Sea. But back then, the ship ticket, it's like a ticket on El Al. You go on Russian Airlines, it's $700 a ticket. Suddenly El Al, $1,200 with a stop. He doesn't have money to pay for the ticket. So he goes to the Rav Chovel, how you say the
captain.
The captain, mm-hmm. The guy with the special hat, with the triangle, like he has a pizza on his head. And he says to him, could you let me on the boat? When I go and collect the money, I'll find you, I'll pay you back. I'm a rabbi, I swear in a beard. He says, I'm going to trust the Jew. The last time somebody trusted the Jew ended up in a grave. Goyim anti-Semitism. As I'm not letting you on the boat, he says, let me on the boat. I'm not letting you on the boat. He was the captain was a Rav Chovel, he was a rough. The Gemara says that every sailor is a tzaddik. Why? Not the Goyim, the Jews. Why? Because a sailor, back then, they used to come home once every 6 months. Once every 6 months. So you're in the boat, you have nobody there. You have to be celibate, and every time the wave comes, you say, Anna Shem Moshi, Anna Shem Moshi. All sailors are tzaddikim. What happens? Comes over here, Rabbi Shmuel Abu Hatzira. He says to the Rabbi Chovel, let me out. He says, no, I don't believe. You guys are tzaddikim, you Jews. You believe in the Torah? Go on yourself. He says, you're going to pay for it. He says, pay me, then I'll pay for it. The ship sets sail. He doesn't know what to do. Aladdin and his flying carpet? This is Rabbi Shmuel Abu Hatzira and his floating carpet. He takes a carpet, he puts it on the shore, he sits down, starts to read what? Tehillim, thank you very much. He starts to read Tehillim. Guys, remember, Rabbi Shimon Agassi says in Shara Gilgulim, the only human being that was able to fix in one reincarnation the most parts of his soul was who? David HaMelech. David HaMelech. That's with sinning, by the way. That's with sinning. He sits with him, and the current, it goes up. The current rises. And the carpet with the tzaddik goes into the water. The ship is going. The carpet with the tzaddik, he doesn't care. He doesn't pay attention. He said, Hashem, you picked me. You're going to take me to Istanbul. the captain, he's riding the wave. Suddenly he sees the same Jew sitting over it. Whoa, Balam, how is this guy? Waves coming, ships, this, that. He doesn't care, he's reading to you. He starts to get over there green, blue, red, yellow, all the colors of the rainbow. You could have said the bracha zochera berit on him. He's at one point he stops the ship, he pulls down anchor, he says, Rabbi, please come on the ship. Izviniti. Apologies. Mechola mekonet, please. I didn't mean to do this. Come. He said, now I'm not coming on the ship. Just so you should see what the power of a Jew is. And he went all the way to Istanbul on a floating carpet. You know what that is? When he got off the ship, the captain gets up, started to cry and yell because he thought he would have retribution from Hashem. He said, you know, this Jew, he got it from Israel to Istanbul on a floating carpet. He didn't have to be a charismatic Jew. Trust me, he raised a lot of money on that day. And from that day, he was known as what? Not Elbaz anymore. The name changed. Abu Hatzira. This is the Baba Sali's great-grandfather. They say one version of the story, how the last name changed. Second version of the story. The Baba Sali, if you guys recognize in his picture, he barely had a beard. He had very, very little hair on his face. And if you look at his young pictures, and when he passed away at the age of 93. If you look when he was younger, he was actually a very handsome young man. When he was younger, he said that I didn't have any hair on my face. I had no facial hair. Some men, they have a very big influx of estrogen in their body, of female hormones, and they don't grow facial hair. And from his mother's side of the family, they were like this. They had no facial hair. So he had, how you say, the beauty of a young boy. They say that he inherited this beauty from his great-grandfather, this Shmuel Elbaz. This Shmuel Elbaz, he had a job. What was his job? He used to learn Torah. He was a simple Jew. He didn't look for kavod. He didn't look for views. He just looked, a simple Jew, I want to have dveikus to Hashem. The Arab lady in the shuk, she put her eye on him. Because you should know one thing. Any person who people are attracted to, they have a nitzotz of Yosef HaTzadik inside of them. It's a known thing. It's chen. V'imtza Yosef, chen. Charm. It's charm. So this Shmuel Elbaz, he had charm. And this Arab lady, unfortunately, he found charm in the wrong eyes. So she was a big machashef. Machshefa. Jadugari. Witchcraft. So she said to him, and he used to weave carpets. One day she said to him, Malo Shmuel, you want to come inside my house? Could you weave me a nice Moroccan carpet? So he didn't know better. He thought her husband's at home. No yichud, no shmichud. He goes inside. Vehi sagerai tadelek acharav. She closed the door. She did a little kishuf, and he couldn't get out of the house. Stuck inside. And every day she would come to him. I do with Yosef HaTzadik. Lie with me. Velo shama eleya lishkav etzla. V'liyot ima. He didn't listen to her to be with her. And to, like Yosef HaTzadik, he wouldn't listen. Day in, day out. No tefillin, no nothing. Like this, like in a jail with this machshefa. You should know one thing. There's a lot of, especially in the Arabic world, there's a lot of kishuf. In the Uzbek world, the Arabs, a lot of kishuf. I don't know anything about. I personally I know stories, right? Stories that I've heard from even rabbis in our generation. In the Arabic world, for example, in Israel right now, if you go to, most of the Arabs, they live in the south, in Beersheba. And a lot of times, Jewish people, for shiputz, how you say shiputz? Construction, renovation, they call these, make shiputznikim. And these Arab people, they know how to make a kishuf. And they stick it in the plumbing drain, this, that. And they close the thing. And suddenly the wife doesn't know why. She goes after the guy. She doesn't know why. Some kind of she's like, I'm disgusted by the guy. But for some reason, I can't help myself. I can't help but going after the guy. Like this kind of kishuf, the Arabs know this kind of stuff. They know. And the only way to destroy this kishuf, I don't want to make you guys, feel disgusted. You guys are eating, is to find this thing that they did. And you have to go to the bathroom on it.
Defile it.
You have to defile it.
Asher
yatzar et adam b'chokhmah. It's the only way. And there's many stories of many chachamim in Eretz Israel who deal with this, which I've heard personally firsthand, where they opened up the drainage in the house, in the plumbing, and they find these, with all these chotamot of all these kind of stuff these Arabs put over there, and they tell the woman to, do ktanim on it, go to the bathroom on it, put it in the toilet, and suddenly she feels like nothing ever happened. Yeah, there's stuff like this today, and this lady who took Rabbi Shmuel Elbaz to her house, and she locked the door on him, and in my opinion, this story is more true than the first one. In my opinion, she locked the door on him, and she said, you're not coming out until you do the shtuyot with me. Because she saw in her astrology or kishuf that she's supposed to have a son that's supposed to be, who's it going to be? The grandfather of Baba Sali, the Avir Yaakov. She wanted that neshama for herself. What did he do? He started to weave a carpet. He says, I'm bored over here. Could you let me weave a carpet? And through some kind of mastery, he weaved his name into the carpet with letters, Hatzi, like save me. Shmuel Elbaz, Shin Aleph, like save me. Hatzala, help! One big rabbi was, and she was selling the carpets. She was making good cash. She's selling, I think it's only one big chacham, his friend. He sees the carpet, he could tell. Suddenly he sees the initials. He knew that this machshefa is keeping his, because he's missing. She's keeping him inside. He went inside with the tzaddikim. They blew the shofar. He said, Pitom aktoret. This lady dropped it. Wow. They went inside the house. They saved him. And from then on, he was known as Rabbi Shmuel, not Elbaz, but Abu Hatzira. Some say Abi Hatzira, the father of the Hatzira, of the carpet. That's how the name changed from Elbaz to Abi Hatzira. There's two versions of the story. Now, I don't have to tell you guys that Rabbi Shmuel Elbaz, Abu Hatzira, he had a son that would light the eyes of the Moroccan Jewry, La'adol Me'olamin. He was known as the Abir Yaakov. This rabbi had such dvekut when he was praying Shemona Yisrael. It's written down in the stories. One time, how you say, banzitim, shovavnikim, chuligani, gangsters, those guys who like to wear the chain, they sit like this, like that, those gangster boys, right? So they said, we want to see how much the rabbi is really praying. He has dvekut, right? He has dvekus. So they took a gun. Back then, a gun, you could pop your shoulder when you, blew the gun, right? You need to have a nice, how you call that, shoulder, what's the bone called that connects the shoulder? Collarbone, thank you. You need to have a nice one. So they took the gun while he was playing Shemona Yisrael. They shot it right by his ear. He didn't even flinch. It's like he didn't hear anything. He was davening. And he used to go to the mikveh every day. Now, back then, mikveh was not like today. You're flying on Shvat, Nanea Kavod, everything is nice, you say, ceramic, marble. Back then, you had to go down into a ditch, 70 steps. 70 steps, you had to go inside. You know what it is? I don't know if you guys, once happened to me, you remember this? It was Shavuot morning. You should know one thing. People who learn the secrets of the Torah, 2 tefillot, they never miss. 2 tefillot. 1, Erev Shabbat. You have to go Erev Shabbat. Number 2, Shavuot morning. Wow. One time we went Shavuot morning. Black.
Yeah, pitch black.
It's black. I remember dipping inside that mikveh. My neshama was coming out of me. You're dipping in a pool of blackness.
It's so scary.
It's not fun. In the mikveh, in the mikveh on Main Street. I remember it was not fun. Some people, they don't care. It depends on neshama. I did not want to go in. I did not want to go in with the filter. It was not fun. They used to dip in the mikveh
in the dark.
In the night before Tikkun Chatzot. Before Tikkun Chatzot. You know what it is? It's the coldest time in the night. They used to go down into a ditch 70 steps. You ever go to the mikveh of the Ari? The steps over there is rock. One slip, Chas v'shalom. You know, you could go Kaddish al Israel, you know, could happen. So they used to go down, and they used to go down 70 steps by themselves. By themselves, and they used to dip in black water. Not clean water. This is well water. It's dirty water from the earth. This is what kind of people, that's what I'm talking about. Okay? But our shiur tonight is not on Rabbi Yaakov Abu Chatzira. This is going to be Bezrat Hashem. We already passed his Yortzeit. It was Chav Tevet. That was the Rambam's day, if you guys remember. But we spoke that day on the Rambam. Mostly. Rabbi Yaakov Abu Chatzira had a son, Rabbi Mas'ud. Very big Chacham. Also, you could make a whole shiur on him. He had 2 sons. He had a couple of sons, but the oldest son's name was David. Malo David. He was the prodigy of the family. And he had a younger son, he named him Yisrael. One day, Rabbi Mas'ud, who was the rabbi of Tefilalet, a certain city of Morocco, his son comes home, he's all upset. His young Baba Sali. He says, young Yisrael, why are you upset? He said, one boy in my class, he was hurting another boy. So what did you do? I cursed him. I cursed him. Maybe 5 years old, 6 years old. Young Baba Sali, 6 years old. It's a true story. His father got very upset at him. He said, remember one thing, my son. I'm going to tell you one thing about your neshama. Never forget it. In the future, many people are going to come and get brachot from this mouth. If you're going to curse with this mouth, you're going to ruin your life forever. The Baba Sali said from that day on, a curse and anger never ever came out of his lips. Whatever he said came true. Whatever he said came true. When he was 9 years old, he used to run after his brother, Rabbi David, who was the rabbi of Tefilalet. He used to see his brother. He was a sakran. You know what a sakran is? Curious what his brother is doing all week. He saw his brother is fasting 6 days a week, dipping in the mikveh erev Shabbat, and the way he used to break his fast every week was on Kiddush. Do you ever break Tisha B'Av on a cup of wine? It hits you straight to the head. Imagine after 6 days with a cup of Moroccan wine. It's an experience. You're gonna reach meditation levels, basically. Understand? So he said, my brother is doing it? Also, I'm going to do it. 9-year-old boy. Fasting 6 days a week. Dipping, and not in a warm mikveh they used to dip in.
Frozen. Cold.
Freezing cold mikveh they used to dip inside. His brother catches him in the mikveh. He takes him by the sweat. What are you doing over here? He says, I want to be like you. You fast 6 days a week? I also want to do it. You dip in the mikveh? I also want to. He says, I put a swear on you, Chasam, that you're never ever going to fast until you're going to be married and have kids. Fasting is only for people that grow up and they can handle it. Don't jump the gun. Don't try to chew more than you could swallow. That's what he told him, the young Rabbi David, who was the rabbi of Tefilalet. Unfortunately, Rabbi David Abu Chatzira, the king of Morocco, made a alila. How you say alila?
A
decree against the Jews that he was Chas Shalom going to kill all the Jews of Tefilalet. And then Rabbi David Abu Chatzira prayed for 1 week in his room, and they changed the whole decree that only the rabbi they're going to take as Kiddush Hashem, and they killed him in such a bad. The older brother of the Baba Sali, they made out of him pieces until the last day of his life. Rabbi Israel Abu Chatzira, the Baba Sali, never forgot his brother, and he always used to say, whatever I am, my brother could have been 1,000,000 times greater. And all that's left of his brother is 5 books. 5 books, till today we have those books. The Baba Sali HaKadosh went up to very great levels. His Rebbe was Rav Turjaman. He was a big Dayan. Don't think he was just a Kabbalist, guys. Mekubal, he was only once he got to Israel in his late 50s and 60s. All of his life, he was a dayan. You know what a dayan is? Highest level judge. The highest level judge. And one of the most beautiful stories that they say about the Baba Sali, when he was the dayan in Tefilalet, you know, Rabotai, the Torah says, if a poor woman, an almana, how you say almana? A widow, comes to you to Beit Din, and she owes somebody money, you're not allowed to take the almana side. You have to follow the law. The law says she owes the money, she owes the money. This lady wasn't paying her rent. She comes inside with the landlord, and the landlord says, she owes me money, here's the chozeh. And she said, no, I paid you. At the end, they made them swear. It came out that what? She was a liar. So Baba Sali, Rabbi Israel Abu Hasira, looks at the lady, says, listen, Geveret, kol hakavod lach, but you owe the guy money. And then he said to the guy, listen, you're Zakai. How you say Zakai? You're the winner.
You're the winner.
So the guy goes up to her and says, give me the money. At that moment, the Baba Sali put his hand, you know his famous picture with his hand like this? He put his hand like this on the table. He was the Av Beidin. He started to cry. The whole Beidin is shocked. The guy, he's asking for his money. He's looking at Baba Sali, his mouth is open. Av Beidin is crying in the middle of the whole crowd. He comes to the Baba Sali and says, why are you crying? He says, she owes you the money. Do me a favor, forgive her. She owes you the money. But even so, please, I'm begging you, forgive her. And he forgave her. That's the power of a Rav. A true Rav. Av Beit Din, the Baba Sali HaKadosh. In the middle of the Beit Din, he's crying like a baby. He's right. But please, forgive her. The Baba Sali HaKadosh, when he was a young boy, he wouldn't grow any facial hair. Abotai, you know? All of us over here, you know, we have short beards, big beards, small beards, shaped beards. It's the style to style up your beard. You go a little bit like this, and then, you know, you make it like nice, this, that, all the kind of styles. Not meaning to, you know, anything in particular. I'm just saying, it's a style, right, to these days. The Baba Sali wouldn't grow a beard. A beard. He used to say all the shefa of a man comes from the beard. You want to be successful? You don't need any sigula. I'm telling you a sigula right now. I'm telling you a sigula, grow a beard. I'm telling you a sigula, you want to be successful? Grow a beard. Don't touch it. Yes, that's what he used to say. He wouldn't grow a beard himself. One day he was sitting Tikkun Chatzot, midnight. He's crying to Hashem. Why? Not for the Galut. Not for Am Yisrael. Not for the Shekhinah. What is he crying for? A beard. A beard. He woke up the next morning with four strands of hair sticking out of four corners of his face. He held those four hairs and he said, "You're my Sefer Torah," and he kissed it. This is the story of the Baba Sali. Why am I telling you? I have to not tell you miraculous stories. You know why? I'm going to tell you a miraculous story right now. Wait, why come I started with regular stories? Baba Sali was a man. Like me and you. Yes, he had a big neshama. I'm not going to... Who am I to say yes or no? But obviously. But he started off as a child like me and you. He was a boy. There's no stories when he was 9 years old he knew the whole Shas. But he wanted to be great and he wanted to be better. We can be the same. We can be better. And the Baba Sali, out of all of his books, everything got burnt or stolen. Everything. One book is left from him. A book called Ahavat Yisrael. To love the Jewish people. You know what that is? He said he finds from all the mitzvot in the Torah how it equals the numerical value of Ahavta L'Orecha Kamocha. This is left of him. He had many books. This is what's left of him. He used to say, you were a mitzvah, how many mitzvot are you doing a second? 613. You take upon yourself Ahavta L'Orecha Kamocha, how many mitzvot are you doing that second? 600,000. Isn't that an atomic mitzvah? Sigula, to get married. Take upon yourself the mitzvah va'ahavta l'recha kamocha every moment. And you know what? It's pretty hard. Especially if you have a mother-in-law. I'm kidding. It's pretty hard. What do we say before we say shacharit? Hareini mekavel alai mitzvat aseh Gabriel of what? Malach matat. Va'ahavta l'recha. Abotai. I'm going to tell you one small story. And then we're going to do B'tichat Echa because the night is getting old. And you know, the Baba Sali was very big that fathers should go home to their wives. Do you know when you're home with your wife, B'ezrat Hashem, at that moment, it's in your house, Yom Kippur. When you have Shalom Bayit inside your house, I'm telling you, Kabbalistically, according to the Ari HaKadosh, and I could explain it to you with due time, when you have Shalom Bayit at home, at that moment in your house, it's Yom Kippur. It's Shabbat. That means the Shekhinah is, you don't need 10 men. Ish ve'isha zachu, Shekhinah benehem. But when you come to Shul, how many men do you need to have the Shekhinah? 10.
Why not?
At home, what do you need? Shalom Bayit. That's it. Ish v'isha zachu shechina benehem. And I also explained to my dear friend Daniel over here, you also need a kosher ketubah.
Yes.
Can you say Kaddish at home?
Huh?
Can you say Kaddish?
You can't.
You are the Kaddish.
You don't need to. You don't need to, by the way. You've transcended the Kaddish. Mashiach is already in your house. Va'ed. The Baba Sali HaKadosh, one last story. And I need to say this unmiraculous story before I tell you the miraculous stories. When he first moved to Israel, I just want to let you know, he was in his 50s, 60s. Right away, they wanted to make him the chief rabbi of Israel, like Rav Ovadia Yosef. That's what they wanted to do to him. He just heard, God, you know what kind of respect that is to be the chief rabbi? If the chief rabbi, you know when Rav Ovadia came to America once, there was no room to breathe in the shul. In the big Syrian shul, what is it called? Shari Tzion? There was no room to breathe in the shul, just to get a glimpse of him. A glimpse! When he came to Israel, they wanted to make him the chief rabbi. You know what he did? He sent a straight letter to who? The Lubavitcher Rebbe. He said to him, should I stay in Israel? Or should I leave Israel? What did the Lubavitcher Rebbe tell him? Stay. You know what he did? He left. He said, I cannot handle the honor. I cannot handle the honor, he said. Unbelievable. You're giving him a... You know people will say, B'makom she'en ish, tishtadel liot ish. When there is no man, be the man. Be the main man. Baba Sali said there are many men. There will always be many men. I'm not for honor. I'm not a man for honor. Where did he run away to?
No. France.
Paris.
Viva la France.
Viva la France. He went to France. He lived in France close to 10 years. Did you know that? He lived in France for close to 10 years. He was hiding over there. He didn't want the fame. And that's where in France the famous story of how he didn't have time to bless the moon. And I'm telling you guys this. People who want to get married, sigula to get married. Betula nis'et leyom revi'i reshet tevot levana. Birkat ha-levana. You have to say Birkat ha-levana with kavanah. That's a famous story. There was in Paris a lot of clouds. One time there was no moon, and it was the last day. Baba Sali comes out. Suddenly, Moshe opened the sea. Baba Sali opened the Shamayim. Big cloud is showing, and they made a Birkat Levana. Made a Birkat Levana. I tried it, by the way. It doesn't work for me. I'm kidding. Could you imagine what kind of... he didn't do it through Shemot. You know what he did? He said to Hashem, hello, I need to do Birkat Levana right now. Could you do me a favor? Move it. When Hashem knows deep inside of you that you will stay until dawn, till you will have the moon, He won't make you wait. But if He'll know that at 3 o'clock you'll give up, 4, 5, 6, till you'll give up eventually, you'll stay for a couple hours, but you'll give up, He won't open it up for you. He knew, Hashem knew that Baba Sali would have stayed there to bless the moon until dawn. He would have stayed, he would have waited. That's why He said, and it opened. But when Hashem knows that this guy, chetzi, poseach al shtei seifim, He's not going to open up for you. Yes. The Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh, one time in his life he used Shemot HaKodesh, all of his life he did tikkun for that. All of his life.
Why?
Because you could do everything without that. You just have to work on yourself. Rav Israel I want to tell you, this story defines who the Baba Sali was for me. But defines. This story defines him. And I didn't even say one miraculous story yet, by the way. Besides for the moon thing, which I explained through the regular way. That was Rabbi Shmuel Elbaz. That's the great-grandfather. That's not even him. Baba Sali, when he moved to Israel, first place that he stopped was in Ashkelon. If I'm not mistaken. Ashkelon. He stayed in Ashkelon. He wanted to make his house over there in Ashkelon. Baba Sali comes eventually. Obviously, many rabbis are coming to see him. Sidna Baba Sali, Muchi, Bracha Koned, this and that. One big Talmid Chacham comes inside the Baba Sali's room. Zakan, Ada, Tabur, not Tabur Alev, Tabur Ha-Tabur. Big coat, you know those rabbis who come into the room with the big frocks? With the long ones, you suddenly feel like you're not intimidated by them. Like when he's coming inside with a long coat, that's what's up, you know? He comes inside with a long coat. One of those top hats, you know?
Hamburger.
Big Rosh Yeshiva. He goes to Baba Sali and he's speaking to Baba Sali, halachim. Baba Sali, you know, that's what's up, you know? He's throwing advice, you know, Maso Dayan, take it easy. They're talking in halacha. Suddenly, the guy said to the Baba, says, can I tell you the truth? The Baal Shem Tov was big stuff. You know the Baal Shem Tov? He was big stuff, you know? Chassidish. But the Vilna Gaon, the Gaon Mevilna, he learned Gemara better than him. You have to admit with me, he knew how to learn better than him. Baba Sali was shocked. He was shocked. He stopped. He didn't say any word to him. The rabbi left. He said to his son, come inside the room, pack up all of our stuff. He said, what? He said, we out. Where? Not here. We're not here. In a city where they speak Avak Lashon Hara and Baal Shem Tov, I'm not living. But we just bought this house. So, you know. Okay, let's do a tikkun. We out. You know what he did?
No question about it.
That day, he didn't stay an extra day. He took all of his stuff. He left the city. And he never visited Ashkelon again in his life. In a city where they say Avak Lashon Hara and the Baal Shem, I'm not staying over there. This is a man of principle. Va'ed. That was this story that defines the Baba Sali. This defines Baba Sali. And we know one thing, Baba Sali, even though he was Sephardi, this and that, he was so connected to Chassidus like crazy. Anytime a Chassid would come inside, he'd give him kavod. There is a famous rumor that him and the Baal Shem Tov, the Neshama of the Baal Shem Tov, was very deeply connected. And we know that today is also the yortzeit of Rabbi Yehuda Leib Misasov, one of the great Chassidish tzaddikim. Today also their yortzeit. If we had more time, we would speak about it too. One last miraculous story of the Baal Shem Tov, one deep story, you know, Atakash. Just to give you one, with your permission, Rabbi Isai. Va'ed. So, there was, and I will tell you the names of the people, it's a true story. There was a lady, her husband, unfortunately, he was suffering from mild paralysis.
Lady or no?
The woman's husband, a Sephardic Jew, one day, you see the finger over here? Nishtak. The nerve, imagine suddenly you can't move your finger. Next month, second finger stopped working. Go to the doctors, professor. In Israel, they don't call him doctor. What do they call him? Professor. That's what they call him, professor. Yeah. So they go. That's because you know why? Because they learned from the Russians.
Yeah, professor.
So basically, the guy one day wakes up from his bed, chetzi aguf, shatuk. They go to all the professor, shmafessor, this Professor Lapuch, all the professors. The more certificates, the more they said we can't do anything for him. Until one doctor said, listen, there's coming out with a new, advanced technology to cure this disease. Where? In Boston. Boston, Massachusetts. It's the other way around. Yeah. Yeah. So they decided to go to Boston. Keeper almost fell from the word. They decided to go to Boston. And this guy already, his drool, is coming out of his mouth here. Lo aleinu, lo olam Israel. They go to Boston. All that money spent, this, that. They go to the room of the doctor. The doctor said, listen, we never saw a case like this. It's only a matter of time. I give you a suggestion. Go back to Eretz Israel. Think of how to spend the insurance money already. Aspanim legehenom. They go back to, I don't know where they live. You okay over there?
Rabbi, what does that mean?
Aspanim, a person who's brazen, goes to Gehenom. They go back to Eretz Israel. He's in the hospital, half comatose. And wife and daughter, she had an older daughter, 17, 18 years old, They're going from rabbi to rabbi. This rabbi says, reach your Ashirim, 40 days. This rabbi says, go to the Kotel for 40 days. This rabbi says, this is a true sigula that I've heard, to read a certain chapter of Tehillim and throw an egg behind your left shoulder. This rabbi says, buy a locker with a key, go inside the water, a mikveh, open it up. All this kind of weird heebie-jeebie stuff that lo aleinu, lo am Israel, they never heard this in the history of the world. Cut. They try everything because, it's her husband. No, the Gemara says, Tav lemeitan tandu, melemeitav armelu. A woman rather marry a midget than stay alone. So the Gemara, I don't know if it really counts in our days, but that's what they say, the Gemara. The Gemara says, a woman rather marry a woman doesn't want to be alone. Shh, relax. Okay, relax. So the Gemara says, that's what the Gemara says. So she once a woman's married, she wants to stick to her husband, So she's going to all the Rabbanim, her daughter. One day, nothing helps. They get a phone call from the doctor. Come quick. Professor! Go inside the room. Doctor says, I'm sorry, I know you guys knew this was coming. Tomorrow is his last day on planet Earth. I know you guys believe in the afterlife, but get ready, 10 men for Kaddish. Go inside the room, say, before a person dies, what do they say? The Ana, Vidui. If a person can't say it for them. He couldn't move his mouth already, he's paralyzed. He could move his eyes and stuff, but everything is dead. Lo aleinu. This guy's about to die, basically. This lady's brother says, listen, you didn't try this one rabbi, Moroccan rabbi, just came from Morocco. He lives in Netivot. Rabbi Israel Abu Hatzira. Why don't you give him a shot? Go ask him. And it's a known thing, Rabotai, the Baba Sali never took a woman into his room. Never. Except for 3 instances. This story is one of them. This lady goes in the room with her daughter. Tomorrow he's supposed to die. She's waiting online, and the Baba Sali wouldn't see women. He would make them write on a petek, a small note, and he used to read it. Baba Sali right away tells his shamash of Alfasi, bring the lady. Nashim, today, oh, Nashim, Sakshen Nechashim, bring them all in. But back then the tzaddikim were the tzaddikim. He's bring her in. What bring her in? What bring her in? So lady, what are people gonna say? Bring her in right now. Matter of life and death. This is one of the 3 instances Baba Sali took a woman to talk to her in his room. Obviously the door was open and somebody was inside. She comes inside with her daughter. They weren't religious. You know, I don't know if you guys ever been to Israel to the grave of Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes. There is the Sephardic side and the Ashkenazic side. You know what chafla is in Hebrew? You know what chafla? Like parties? If you go to the Sephardic side, shashlikim, this, that, people dancing on the table. Like this kind of, arsim, Then people, they were, yalla habibi. So they were not, they were not tzniut, obviously. Shorts, this, that. So they come to the rabbi's room, cover yourself. The rabbi said, you want your husband to live? The lady's like, of course I want him to live. He said, you're ready to take upon yourself tzniut? Quiet. A person is ready to do anything as long as it doesn't hurt their comfortability. He says, listen, Rabbi, I've been to 1,000 babas. They all told me, reach Shir Hashirim, go into the water, open the lock, throw the egg across the shoulder, reach Shir Hashirim for 40 days, go to the Kota for 40 days, nothing else. This is going to help. Baba Sali said if this doesn't help, you could burn a chumash tomorrow. This will, I promise you, only Baba Sali can say this Shalim. I promise you this is going to help. Baba Sali said this. The lady's like, I'm ready. Tzniut, full blown. Not only you, also your daughter.
You got me the ball.
If it's gonna save my father, you promise. Baba Sali said, I'll do it. That day they go to Nitivo. There is a kosher store for the tzniut clothes. They buy the clothes. They throw out their non-kosher clothes, the shorts, this, that, the heels, everything under the knees, across the elbow, above the elbows. Nothing showing from here. Nothing too tight. Shouldn't say that. Nothing tight. The next morning, they come to see their father. They come inside to the room, open the room. 20 doctors are in the room. Get out, get out. Usually, when the doctors say get out, when it's code red, when it's about. Baba Sali said, promised. Get out. If he's about to die, we want to say goodbye to him. Get out. 20 minutes later, they come inside the room. The father is standing on his feet. This isn't a story of 100, 200 years ago. The guy's name was Shimon Buzaglo. This is a true life story that happened 35 years ago. The guy was standing on his feet. He said, he looked at his wife and said, what happened to you guys? What happened? When did you guys become dosim? When did you guys become religious? The daughter fainted on the floor. The mother was like, her hair was like, how? Mamash, it's a medical miracle that happened. Like, the guy just stand on his feet. The guy was supposed to die. That day. They all go to the Baba Sali. All 3 of them to say thank you. They go inside. The father, the wife, and the daughter. And the Baba and the guy, the Shimon Buzaglo, that's the guy, the story happened. He comes, he looks at the Baba Sali, he says, Baba Sali said, tell your wife what happened that day. He said, I'll tell you the truth, I was in the Beit Din. The Dayan, the judge was about to say Mavet, and suddenly out of nowhere some guy bursts inside the room and said, wait! Chaim. Wow. The Diana. Mavet. Chaim. Baba Sali said, you remember that guy's name? He said the guy wasn't religious. He's like, some kind of king? He says, do you remember the king's name? He said, I don't know anything about Tanakh in my life. I remember he was a king. He said, was his name Shlomo HaMelech? He said, that's the one. Shlomo HaMelech went inside my room and he said, Chaim. And I didn't know. And they sent me right back down. Baba said, I'm going to explain to you what happened. When your wife and daughter came to me that day, I was trying to look for a zechut to keep you alive. And I found in one pasuk in the whole 24 books that talks about a woman's tzniut. King Solomon says in the song Eshet Chayil Mi'imtza, which we sing every Friday night, Oz v'hadar levusha v'tischag leyom acharon. Oz v'hadar, she will dress modestly and she will laugh at the last day. So I said to myself, the Baba Sali said, no Shemot HaKodesh, no Baba, no Shemaba. I said, if she's going to take upon herself, Oz v'hadar levusha, Shlomo HaMelech, you take care of the rest. She should laugh on the last day and not cry on the last day. And that's what happened. That's a miraculous story of the Baba Sali HaKadosh that's worthy of Rabbeinu Baba Sali. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen. Amen.